Alright, this is Richard Ashcroft saying love and peace, and stay tuned to all the Rockol viewers. God bless you. Yeah, Human Conditions. I said earlier that when I called Urban Hymns, named it Urban Hymns when it first came out, people were questioning my sanity in a sense. So this was a bit heavy, isn't it, for an album title? But then subsequently the music was heard in radios, in clubs, in houses, in taxis. The music did become urban hymns. It became, you know, hymns of the city. I heard my own songs all over the place. So the title worked in the end. And with Human Conditions, basically I've always liked the term the human condition. I've always, from the moment I first read that, the human condition, it made me start thinking. John Cocteau wrote a book called The Human Condition. Other people have discussed it, and I saw the title after I'd finished the record and thought, yeah, that's perfect, because if I put an S on it and make it the human conditions, then it might give an insight into the different emotions going on in the record and the different emotions going on in me. We ain't one thing. We're not happy, we're not sad. We're a multifaceted thing that's more complex than we ever imagine. And you know, the human condition, not only me, but mankind. You know, a lot of these prayers, these songs are like prayers. Well, to me, you know, anything that's spiritual should leave the listener or the viewer with a sense of almost like not an out of body experience, but it should transport you to a different place, a different state of mind, a higher state of consciousness. And in a sense, it's somebody who hasn't defined his God yet, doesn't have a book to pass on to his son and say, here it is, it's all within this book. But I'm also searching for a sense of spirituality, and I think my prayers are my songs. My prayers have always been my songs, really. That's the way I communicate through music. That's the way I communicate best. The Brian Wilson ending up on the record, it was a spiritual decision. It was a decision based on closing my eyes when the song was on, thinking of Brian, thinking of his brother, thinking of the family, thinking of the music, and it eventually happened, I think, because of that, because it was governed by those emotions. The song was sent to Brian, and he liked it, and he could only do his stuff in Los Angeles. He couldn't do it in London, and I received it a day later. And it was an absolutely incredible moment, and one of the best moments, probably the most defining moment musically in my career so far, to have someone that I have such respect for, someone who to me has pushed the frontiers of pop music to a level that perhaps has never been. We've never gone back that far out. We've never, Heroes and Villains, a track like that, I don't know if we've ever gone there again. Nature is the Law, as I was writing the song Nature is the Law, that's the first time the statement came out, and I not just in a global sense, more in a personal sense, than a lot of the time nature is the law. We have to leave things to nature. We can't influence, and mankind does have this kind of arrogance. Historically, we're an arrogant race. So with Nature is the Law, it was the wonder that I get personally from nature, the feeling, the sense of being closer to a God, or to my personal God, and also within life, where nature truly does govern major things within your life that you have no control of. And ultimately, fundamentally, on a personal level, obviously it's massive. My desires and dreams as a musician haven't changed, my needs as a musician haven't changed, but influence-wise, yeah, to see something, a child, someone I love dearly, like I said earlier, the innocence and the untainted nature of that, the beauty of innocence, my own, it reflects me as myself when I was like that, when I was, you know, didn't have a clue and was just happy, playing trains and running about screaming. It's a beautiful time. It's a time, it's a very sacred time. I have a family now, and I have a responsibility to a family to set into the world music that contains messages of love, you know, not nihilistic messages or violent negative messages, because that's only going to add another few grains of insanity into the world.